सर सुरुवात करू सर. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Hello, everybody. Sri Kumar Swami College, Ausa, District Latur, State Maharashtra, India, welcomes all honorable dignitaries and participants here at the virtual platform for the International E-Conference. The topic of International E-Conference is Count Her In, Invest in Women. The college every day organizes webinars and also conferences. The purpose behind arranging these conferences is to exchange knowledge among students, researchers, teachers, knowledge seekers. The webinars and international conferences are going on very successfully without any interruption, and it is due to the strong academic leadership of the principal Dr. M. Betkar sir, who is also the chairperson and chief organizer of this international conference. I welcome him for this international conference. Today, I feel immense pleasure to welcome the chief guest and keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Shanthi R. Ma'am, who is an internationally renowned life and corporate coach, author, NLP master, practitioner, keynote speaker, trainer, and mental health advocate from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. On behalf of the organizing committee of International E-Conference and Sri Kumar Swami College, Ausa, I welcome you, ma'am, as the chief guest and keynote speaker. Before the actual speech, I would like to invite Honorable Principal Dr. M. Betkar, sir, for his opening words. Please, sir, welcome.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you, Dr. Betkar. And the other one is Dr. Prakash, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
yes.
you very much. Yeah. Can you guys hear my voice clearly? Is my voice is clear? Okay. So let us start. In conjunction with the Women's Day, today, International Women's Day, so I choose Invest in Women as a topic and counter in. And to be honest to you, I was expecting more women in this team. And I haven't seen much. Only I saw Hema was there, I think. Is that Hema was there? So I would like to, I would, sure, no problem. So shall we move on to the next slide? So we celebrate Women's Day every year on 8th of March. Yeah. So people worldwide celebrate International Women's Day and renewing their shared commitment to achieve gender equality. Throughout years and in history, we always look for gender equality and so on. So this year theme is Invest in Women and serves as a potent reminder that progress can be accelerated by investing in women and girls. Yeah. You can move to the next slide, Doctor. So as a mental health advocate, despite of doing all my coaching and so on, and I'm a mental health advocate, and I've been working as a mental health advocate for sexually abused children and also domestic violence victims for past 15 years. So as a mental health advocate, I'm proud to support this message and urge everyone to work toward brighter and more inclusive world. Also, improving mental health to all women is one of top priority which I am working on at the moment. And I'm actually honored to be invited by Dr. Becker to deliver this speech today. So I hope all of us will join in together to invest in women to accelerate progress. And don't get me wrong, invest in women is not that buying stuff for shopping and all those. No, no. This is much more bigger picture investing in women. Yeah. So there has been definitely a progress being made. Historically, we know there are a lot of advancement, a lot of progress being made with regards to women empowerment and so on, especially in education wise. You can see there is a gender gap in education, but has been narrowed down. If you see in the past, women are not even given opportunity to educate themselves. But now that gender gap has been narrowed down much more. And significantly more girls are completing primary, secondary, even college, and so on. And also political participation. Women are increasingly hold political officers and participate in decision making and so on. Workplace right, reproductive rights. In the past as well, women been restricted, yeah, from reproductive right and so on. But now with increased awareness of gender equality and investment in women, there are a lot of changes being done. But there is still a huge gap where we need to fill in. So that is why, like Shanti is talking today, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 20, 30 minutes, not going to change everything. But what we are trying to do here is to create an awareness. You can move to the next slide, Doctor. So, when I spoke about the gap and the challenges, what are the remaining gaps where we as a woman, we wanted to fill in? Again, number one is economic participation. The gender pay gap persists. If you see in huge organization, let it be a cinematic field or let it be other field or political field, women generally get lesser paid than male counterpart is. Yeah, and unpaid care work. We take it as a household responsibility. We are doing a lot of responsibility at home, domestic work, and so on. But I feel like not only me, yeah, this is statistically, yeah, this I cannot just say that, oh, Shanti feels like this. No, statistically, women's work typically they shoulder disproportionate share of unpaid care at work, like childcare, housework, and this limiting their career opportunities and economic power as well. And number three, important one, violence and discrimination, gender-based violence and discrimination. Okay, sure. So there is violence, discrimination, gender-based violence and discrimination remain significant as well, and also unequal legal frameworks. While legal protection exists, but enforcement can be weak, and also discriminatory laws persist in some countries. And the last one is uneven progress. So all these above mentioned informations actually progress varies, and then it's limit the progress of career and financial path of any woman. Yeah, and as it is, we already have all these number of gaps. But when we move back and see the recent setbacks, which is COVID-19 pandemic and global conflict, as well add to it. If you look into during COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of domestic abuse and domestic violence. It's actually the rate increased. Statistically, if you look into it, the rate increased compared to previous, before COVID 19. And looking forward, what are we actually looking forward? Despite the challenges, the global movement for gender equality continues to gain some momentum. We actually would like to look forward, close the economic gap, try to get policies supporting equal pay, parental and also affordable child care are crucial for us as well as a woman. Empowering women in leadership as well. Most of the leadership positions usually covered by gentlemen, and yeah, it been like historically these positions are given to them. But it is good if we can empower women in leadership positions as well. Also, ending violence against women, everyone knows, and everybody is trying to help with regards to that. Invest in girls' education. Investing in girls' education is already improved a lot compared to past. Now, massive improvement in there, but there are still gaps. Like some regions of the world, there is still gap in educating girl childs. Can move to the next slide here. So here I have listed some of the statistic in critical statistic performance. Women-led companies and funds tends to outperform the male counterparts. Yeah. Why we are asking, investment, why you need to invest more on that? Because there is statistical performance that when women-led companies and funds tends to outperform their male counterparts. And also a study by Kaufman Foundation found that women-led private technology companies achieve 35% higher ROI than male-led tech companies. And research from MSCI showed that companies with strong female leadership produce better stock performance with 3.1% annualized access in return. Also, critical performance statistics, fund managed by women have been shown to outperform those managed by men. Again, I know in this team we have a lot of male. We are not comparing each other. This is not comparison. This is not competition. What I am trying to say is just to have a bit of awareness, but not more than comparing or competition. This is not as such like that. All right. So when we move to the investment gap, despite the performance data, women still need more funding. And only around 2% of venture capital funding goes to women-founded startups. And women-led businesses often receive lower amount of funding overall compared to male-led ventures. You can move to next part. Why investing in women is matter? Economic growth, also innovation and diversity as well. Also to have a very good social impact and financial return as well. Definitely we have done this, and then we have part of us, we already doing it. It's not that we left women totally aside, but there are some reasons where we need to make sure we fill in those gaps. So the reason why we have to fill in the gaps, unconscious bias. So implicit biases may lead investor to underestimate women potential or perceive their leadership style less favorable. So this is from the beginning, yeah. So when women lead a company, we already have implicit bias towards women that okay, women they can't lead, they cannot carry on a businesses. So those bias actually is a main reason in the funding gap. Lack of representation, fewer women in investment decision-making roles create self-reinforcing cycle. Risk aversion, some investor might perceive women-led businesses as risk despite evidence to the contrary. Because of those risks, or maybe they just have this perceive that when we give it to women, then we're going to risk it even more than we are giving the companies or funding towards the male counterparts. So these statistic reflect generally in trends, and there are a lot of reference I listed here because I don't want to come in today then give all these numbers and words. It's only not from me, but there are some papers, statistic research being done on this part. Yeah, if you want to refer to it, you can refer to them. Unfortunately, there are substantial gap in investment in women mental health, and it is a significant public health issue globally. It's not only one part of the world, no matter Western culture, Middle East, or even Asian, even we feels like we are more advanced. Some part of Western culture is more advanced, but unfortunately, when come to mental health, we are still women's mental health is still being compromised. And if you go to move to next slide, you will see underinvestment in inadequate funding in part of where research into women's mental health receive less funding compared to other health areas. We may go up to different body part cancer or a heart attack, or even American Heart funded a lot of money in heart diseases and all this. But when it comes to mental health, the funding is absolutely less, and the research done on women's mental health is absolutely lesser compared to other diseases. Disparity in policy. Mental health policy ensures gender blindness, lacking emphasis on the unique mental health challenges faced by women at various stages of their life. Neglect of specific needs. Women's specific mental health needs arising from factors like hormonal changes, reproductive events, pregnancy, postpartum, menopause, gender-based violence, and inequalities are often underdeserved. When come to women, when they go through menopause or premenopausal, even after deliveries, they go through a lot of hormonal changes. And they are always being told that, okay, this is normal. You being a woman, this is normal. But we do need to do a lot of study with regards to different stages of women's mental health. Like when they go through premenstrual, or when they go through premenopausal, and all those needed a lot more research. But we've been funded very less with regards to research on these pathways. You can move to next part. But why is this matter? Why is this women's mental health matters? So women are more likely to experience certain mental illness like depression and anxiety compared to men due to different hormonal changes, different stages, different age group. There is statistics says that women face more depression and anxiety compared to men. Also, socioeconomic impact. When a woman's mental health is neglected, it is dramatically impact on their well-being, productivity, family, and communities. Also, intergenerational effect. Women with poor mental health can have cascading impact in the well-being of their children. Definitely, when we are not well, we definitely will pass it to the next generation. So indirectly, we're going to give it to our children. So promising areas for investment. What are the areas we can research on mental health? More research focus on gender-specific mental health, risk causes, treatment responses, intervention. They are all crucial to find out why and how we can solve this. Access to services, increased funding for women-centered mental health services that are accessible and affordable is essential, and also to create an awareness. What we've been noticing in mental health field is the moment when somebody speak about mental health, they immediately give you a stigma, or it's a taboo. You're not supposed to speak about mental health. then they stamp you as you are crazy. So to avoid that, we need to talk more about this to create an awareness. So every woman will have access to mental health services. Prevention program, proactive prevention program targeting vulnerable population. Women during postpartum period, survivor of trauma, also survival of any chronic diseases should be given priority in having access to mental health care. Next one. A continuity from the other one. Yes, so mental health training for healthcare workers. So we have to train the healthcare provider on gender sensitive approaches to recognize and address women mental health. This is absolutely essential because every specific unit or as every specific discipline healthcare professional, they're not going to be having all information with regards to mental health. So how are we going to, because healthcare professional is the one who going to have a lot of access to patients with chronic diseases. Let it be cancer or let it be heart or lungs or any other issues. Healthcare professional is the one going to deal with all these women or any patient. These can be not necessarily woman. This can be male or female, whoever it is. So they supposed to be trained on mental health. Um, I think you need to go back to the previous. Yeah, thank you. Yes, so they're going to increase the advocacy for policies changes and funding allocation that focus on gender sensitive mental health needs as well. Now you can go back to. Okay, positive signs and advocacy. While there is an acute need for more significant investment, some positive development are occurring as well. There are a lot of growing awareness. One of them is like we are having this conversation today. This is more to a conversation. I wish we can participate and we can have more conversation with regards to this. And also there is a lot of non-profit initiatives. One of them, which I am doing currently, where I've been working with one of the sexually abused children rescue center. So, like how I am doing this, there are a lot of initiatives I've done, non-profit. Yeah, and also research initiation as well. Some research funding agencies are explicitly focusing on women's mental health as well. You can move to next one. You can refer, these are the references which I have: World Health Organization for mental health, also Victoria University investing in women and mental health as well, National Institute. This is the world you will find different agents where been doing this, which absolutely facilitating mental health progress among women. Can move to next one. How to invest more in women's mental health. As an individual, we can donate, we can become volunteer, we can advocate, and also we can seek help if needed. If not us, maybe someone who like sisters, mothers, or wife, or anyone from our family member, as our family member, when they need help, it's essential for us to refer them to the right resources. Can move to next one. In business and organization, definitely workplace wellness. Now, more and more what I'm seeing is workplace wellness. There are a lot of centers, there are a lot of what you call wellness centers being created in workplace so that we can take care of mental health, not only women, even male, both gender, where they've been taken care well with regards to mental health, inclusive benefit. Ensure healthcare plans cover comprehensive mental health services for women, including therapy, counseling, treatment for gender specific concerns. What we're noticing is like insurance companies, they cover all the major illnesses. but they exclude all the mental health issues, like for counseling, therapies, and so on. So it will be very beneficial if they can include all these benefits. Diversity and inclusion, definitely actively promote diversity. One of them is like the conversation we are having now. This is absolutely very good. Also, corporate giving. Invest in women's mental health initiative through grants, donations, partnership with non-profit dedicated to the cause as well. Can move to next one, Doctor. So, whereas for the investors, gender lens investing, seek out investment opportunities to companies focusing on women mental health research, innovative treatment, and also impact investing. Support funds committed on social impact, including improving women's mental health outcome, and also shareholder advocacy. Use your voice as a shareholder to advocate for companies to address women's mental health in their policies and practices. Next one. Whereas for policymakers, parity laws, yeah. So enforce and extend mental health parity laws to ensure equal coverage for mental health condition. Gender specific research funding as well, it is absolutely important. Access to services. So we have a lot of mental health services. We have coaches now, we have therapies, we have NLP practitioner, we have CBT practitioner, we have a lot of therapies where we do need to have access to them. So whenever we need help, we are easily can reach out to them. And trauma informed care, support and training the healthcare worker and the implementation on trauma informed care approaches, because important for us to recognize that a person going through trauma so that they will reach out to the help as needed. Can move to the next part. And also where to find the opportunities. Where can we go look for opportunities or information? So Women's Mental Health Organization, impact investing platforms, and also government agencies. What I would suggest is these are a couple of them. If you go back, every region, they have their own setting up. So you need to go back, like let's say you need a help or you want to find some opportunities, please go back and refer to that region specific information. I think we already done this here. Yeah, this also done. Move to next one. So last part, yeah, conclusion. Together as we can build the world where women and girls are free from discrimination and have the opportunity to thrive. So let's invest in women, and everyone can contribute, whether you are an individual, business leader, or investor, policymaker, whoever you are, we can fill in the gap. Again, this conversation here or this talk about invest in women, it's not to have fight with male counterpart. It's not to have competition. Okay, we are equal than men. 100%. I would say that we're not going to be equalize ourselves with the men, because both gender been created differently. So for this reason, just to fill in the gap, there are some gaps where women are getting, so we just need to fill in the gap. And one of my priority as a mental health advocate is women's mental health. So that is the reason why I am here today. And I hope together we can build a world where women and girls can have mental health care whenever they want it. So we can move to the next one. So for all the women out there, if any woman here in this, I think there are a couple of you guys here. For those who are incredible women here, please lift up each other and keep learning and growing. Celebrate our unique strengths and abilities. Provide support to each other And we are more powerful when we empower each other. And happy Women's Day, guys. Ladies, all of you. Any questions, any discussion? Yeah. Thank you very much, Doctor. Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Bedkar, sir, and organizing committee, and Dr. Shanthi. Wonderful presentation you have made, and most of the perspective you have placed in front of us. And yeah, there are some questions and there are some answers for them, and the journey will go long. I know this because when we are talking about gender equality and woman
Yes.
empowerment and so many things, are there. So it has many facets, what I can feel, that physical,
Mm,
her health is very important, and how much care she is taking for on herself, that is also very important.
yes.
When we're taking a global perspective, we have to think in all aspects. So health is one of the biggest issue for the female, because she passes through her childhood, then reproductive age group, adolescence, and then reproductive age group, and then marriage in India. Of course, everywhere you'll find this kind of thing is there, marriage, and then you'll find they lands into menopausal age, very important
Mm,
stage of our life. As a doctor, we are facing all these kind of phases, and their nature changes, their way of working changes. The family member
mm.
also wonders how it is happening, why it is happening with her. And then
Yes.
geriatric group, she devotes her whole life for the, betterment of others. But what about the betterment of
Yeah.
herself? So she should take care of
Absolutely.
herself first, I think. And then you have talked about very important mental aspect. Yes, definitely. Mental mind symptoms are a little, you can find out objective, but the emotions of the female, they are so much
Mm,
subjective. And many of the times, they cannot be coming forward and they get suppressed somewhere, right?
mm,
That is up there. And then social is also very important. So like a WHO what says, mental, physical, and
mm,
social. So I think all these
mm.
aspects are such a wonderful aspects, and we have to take care of those aspects. In India, we are having urban area, rural area, and tribal area. What I can see the India, and the traditions and the customs varies from place to place. I think
Yes.
empowerment, yes, definitely, woman has some role, very important role at one place, and the what we can say, the male is having role at one place. So they are the wings, of a one bird, and without, with one wing person, that bird cannot fly. So naturally, both are equally important, like a bird,
Yes.
the wings. So that is very
Yes.
important. And what I feel, the empowerment should start from my family, my home, my, the colleagues in the office,
Mm,
because the
mm,
disease powers, we are not sharing sometimes. The male dominant communities are there where you'll find the decisions are taken by someone else. Even for her, whether she should go for, that she should use contraceptive, whether she should go for
mm,
abortion, whether she should go for permanent sterilization, tubectomy, or something like that. The husband is taking decision at some places. So I think it is her role, it is her body, it is her physics, it is her, way of thinking, and it is her perspective. So we should give equal chance to, present herself. So my question is, there are some discriminations, even in the text matter, the educational books, I will say, some people are
mm.
saying that, some works are allotted to the boy and some work are allotted to the girl. I think we are not changing our mentality, and it is reflected in educational system also. So how to change this, how to bring a transformation exactly So that is my question, how to bring this kind of transformation. Because in villages, we are having the head of the village, that elections are there.
Yeah.
And there also you'll find the wife get a position because her ticket was there, and husband rules the village. That is how the things happens. So how to bring down this discrimination? So just comment on this. Otherwise, your presentation was very excellent. Most of the points you have taken, I like that counselors and counseling and the mental health caretaker should be there definitely. Right, people think stigma to visit such a places, but I think very important. Then various reasons, they are getting tortured and they are dragged into some other businesses. So one has to be very careful, and every male and every female should be conscious. If something is going wrong with someone, we should jump. Otherwise, people try to escape. So with these words, I will conclude. Just comment what I said. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much for such a, the understanding and the way how you express it is absolutely amazing. And I wish everybody will have this conversation. The first thing to have this delivered or the message being circulated around is to have this conversation, because we hardly have this conversation. When male or female, when we speak about equality and end up, just be honest, we will start to be like, I'm big or you big, or we want equality. No, it is no such thing like that. God has created man and woman with each with their own specific speciality. Yeah, like woman cannot do what man doing. Like you guys are really, really strong. And similarly, you guys cannot do what we can do. So we are different than what both of our genders are. But what we are trying to do here is to have more awareness or to talk more about this. Like what you are saying, in a lot of villages, men are dominating and are not given, the women are not given opportunity to make a huge decision. As what you say, certain books only given to a male, not a girl child. So in this case, how are we going to talk to those male as a woman? Let's say wife or yeah.
नहीं वही बेकार है, इंजीनियर बेकार ठगता है, उसको नहीं बुझा।
Okay, so how are we going to create this awareness? By having a conversation. It's absolutely pleasure for me to have this conversation with you guys. But how can we bring this forward to have this similar conversation with those people we are addressed earlier? How can we bring this conversation forward to sit them, to speak to them?
Is
that possibility?
Education, education system should include this, because unless and until we are not, when we are bringing the child, that this kind of elements has to be placed in their mind, because, they observe the parents and they move further like that only. So we have to make a transformation from that age, what I feel. And I really appreciate, a woman goes through the delivery pain or labor pain, what we call, is absolutely that pain, I don't think male can bear, right? So such a wonderful thing, the world has been created by them. So the appreciation should go for them, no doubt. But the thing is, the reality is something different. In tribal areas, I'd seen, women are doing some different work. Their wages are different and the male wages are different. So why this kind of discrimination? Women are having some virtues like, when I see my students, especially the girl students, they are wonderful with their handwriting and presentation and everything. While male, they are doing well in some practical point of view. So there is no discrimination as such, but we should appreciate each other, what I feel, that education has to reach them. So this is my point of view. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But only thing I wish, like, those villages or those male counterpart who is holding on or taking care male child more than the girl child. I wish like messages like this reach them from another male, like how you are speaking now. I wish the other person or whoever restricting female child getting education, they've been educated or they've been told that we need to give them equal opportunity to educate. Let it be female child or let it be male child. They need to be educated equally. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mm. Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, though the women are very less today, those who are present are keenly interested and were satisfied with your lecture. And one thing I just wanted to add that women will get the empowerment or the freedom when they'll get white collar jobs. And I think in your presentation you have mentioned about the Kaufman's data, where they are now getting white collar jobs instead of getting pink collar jobs. Nowadays, every woman, exceptionally maybe some lacking, but every woman is empowered. She's empowered with the education, she's empowered with the money, etc. But still there are very less chances that they get white collar jobs. So if the two candidates are selected in the software also or wherever, if two candidates are selected, the company gives preference to the male candidate than the female candidate. This picture is now changing, but when it will be changed completely, then the woman will get their freedom, or we can say that they are really empowered instead of getting the pink collar jobs. That's what I wanted to just add in that. And sir, there is no problem. The quantity may be less, but the quality is good for today's lecture. So thank you, Shanti. Thank you, Bedkar
Thank
sir,
you very
Anand
much.
sir, and then Karat sir or whoever is. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunita.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you,
this is the
Sunita, for
fact.
your
What sir
comment.
is saying is a fact. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all.
See you
Ma'am,
guys.
recently I was there at Thailand, and I saw all the women, they were working over there. So I thought that this country is ruled by female only, women only. Whether my perception is right or wrong, I am not sure, but I like that. But
Mm. There are certain parts that needed changes still, especially with regards to abortion right and all. But it has improved from like 2012 up to now. There are a lot of changes, like the law being changed, amended, and all. But still, there needs some improvement. But we do have some voice. We speak and we talk and all those. Yes, we do. We have power. Yeah. Mm, mm, sure. Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you
ma'am,
very much.
on this occasion of International Women's Day, and the theme is invest in women. I think way of two
Yeah.
people here. Yeah, wonderful. So I
Yeah.
think we are doing that signature style also, taking both the hands together and making a heart. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you very much. See you
Thank you,
guys.
thank you,
Bye.
thank you. Bye bye,
Thank
bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Informative
Thank
session, ma'am,
you.
और information. बेदकर सर, थैंक यू, वंडरफुल सेशन. और शांति मैम का मैं ऑनलाइन पे ही मेरे तरफ नेटवर्क की इश्यूज थी. बेदकर सर, मैं प्रयास से यूट्यूब पे सुन रहा था और सॉरी. ओके, ओके. थैंक यू मैम. थैंक यू.
Thank you. Thank you.